Hey Waffle Gang, I do hope you're well. My name is Mark and today we're checking out some more Reddit stories, and if you do love a Reddit story, why not consider hitting a like, subscribe, maybe that notification bell too. And let's crack on with today's first story. Much love, guys. Now today we're going to try out the ohnoconsequences subreddit, which is a subreddit for people who are genuinely shocked by the consequences for their own words and actions. And today's first title is Did We Mess Up With Our Son? He blew up at us during dinner. My wife, 42 female, and I, 45 male, were having dinner with our only son, 23 male, 2 weeks ago. We're celebrating the fact that he got into one of the top 10 PhD programs for physics. We were having dinner with each other at our house. My son has no past issues. He's smart, social, caring, and a hard-working boy. He has a good set of friends and an amazing girlfriend. I'm just completely shocked at what happened. The argument. Both of us were congratulating him on his achievement and told him how we were so proud of the fact that he was the first to get a PhD in the entire family. He said thanks as usual. My wife reminded him to make it a priority to maintain contact with us when he moves to start his PhD. For some reason, he just snapped at that moment. He stopped eating for a moment and with a stern look, he asked, why? I didn't know why he was angry. I just wanted to defuse a potential fight and jokingly said, "'Cause we're your parents, silly." Then he said, "Well, your job is done now. You don't need to be bothered by me. You have more time for each other now." His mum asked what's the matter. He said he doesn't understand why he has to force himself to maintain contact with his parents who loved each other more than him. We were shocked and asked what makes him think like that. He went on his rant and said, "We may love him, but he was mostly a job for us that we needed breaks from." He mentioned up till starting college, in the 3 to 4 vacations of 2 to the 3 weeks we take in a year, we mostly went without him and dumped him at our parents' places. It's true, though most of our trips have been as couples since the beginning. This isn't his first time bringing it up. He mentioned for the majority of the weekends we had looked forward to our date nights more than spending time with him. He said that he felt while we did love him, he was always at the back seat of our relationship. I told him we needed our own couple time too. He said that he understood that, but it seemed for him that moments of fun were always preferred to spend it as a couple. The major thing that kicked me in the balls was when he said one of the major reasons he enjoyed college is that he no longer needed us for emotional support. He said he enjoyed spending time with his friends and spending time with us. He said that's why he wanted to dorm for his 4 years. Before he left, he said he was tired of being part of a family that placed him second when it came to love, especially when it wasn't his choice, and he wanted to be equally loved. He left dinner that night without a goodbye and hasn't contacted us since then. Me and his mum were bawling our eyes out every day since then. We can't sleep at night at all. The worst part is that he doesn't need us financially anymore. He can cut us out of his life with no drawbacks. Did we mess up with him as parents? In our eyes, we did everything we were supposed to as parents. We loved him, fed him, sheltered him, paid for his tuition, and spent time with him. Apparently not enough. Forgive me if I didn't articulate myself properly. It hurts writing this. What should we do? Did we go wrong? Advice is needed. Thank you all. Citizen Keen says to the OP, as a father who recently re-established contact with my parents after a year of no contact, and as someone who spent a lot of time in therapy coming to terms with my relationship with my folks, parents can provide for their children and be present. My parents were amazing providers. Food, shelter, values, work ethic, love. My parents provided everything I ever needed as a child. But another element of being a parent is being present. Providing for your kids is merely your duty, and in return you'll get the duty of regular phone calls updating you on your child's life. If you want a relationship, you've got to be present. You've got to spend time and effort doing things that are fun with your kid, that your kid thinks are fun, even if you don't. Quoting, most of our trips have been as couples since the beginning, and then says, that's familiar. That comes across as a red flag to me. My wife and I make sure to travel without our son and spend time as a couple, but most of the time we're traveling as a family, because making sure that a fair amount of our travel is fun for my son, and a fair amount of time is fun for all of us, is important. I don't know how best to move forward. I don't know what the best option is for you and your wife is. But I do think that you and your wife need to ask yourselves how much of your parenting was providing and how much of your parenting was being present with your son. Blue T says, did you ever in this evening empathize with him? You write about a lot of being defensive. We needed our couple time. If I were being that open with my parents, then responding that way would be a kick in the teeth. What about needing your special time with him? I can't tell you overall what happened, but he suddenly sounds raw about it. And it doesn't sound like you handled this particular interaction in a way that made him feel any better about it. If I read that correctly, Opie said 4 vacations a year that were lasting 2 to 3 weeks each without him. So they were potentially gone for over 2 months or 4 months at the most of every year. And we're not talking about other times when they're spending time together on date nights, etc., etc. Because at first I was coming to this thinking, couples do need their alone time as well. They need their special date nights, etc. But when it got to that point and was seeing all that time away, like fucking potentially 4 months out of the year, I can see why he feels the way he does. It wasn't too long after this that Opie came in with an update and says, "It was just last Friday. My wife and I just came into physical contact with our son. A lot of stuff has happened between the time we last saw him storming out on us during dinner and meeting him last Friday. First week we kept calling our son 5 times a day and leaving him 3 voicemails daily. We never heard him pick up the phone. Within the second week, his girlfriend picked up his phone one day and told us he is living with her at her apartment and doesn't want to see us. She told us to give him time to cool down. Meanwhile, our lives at home were getting screwed over. The first couple of weeks, all of our energy was put into getting into contact with him and visit us. We knew where his girlfriend lived and my wife wanted to make a personal visit, but I warned her showing up at his doorstep uninvited is only going to make the situation worse. We called our family members to persuade him to talk to us. It didn't matter if we had his grandparents, aunts, uncles to call him, but his response was politely telling them he's willing to talk to them about anything but us, and apologized if he inconvenienced them. We realized our method wasn't working. We decided to go for counseling and therapy for not only for trying to reconnect with him, but to also process our emotions through the difficult times. We slowly stopped overwhelming him with our attempts to contact him. Both our counselors suggested we respected his boundaries and let him make the first move. So we decided to leave a voicemail to his phone that we won't be bothering him, but our door is always open to him. These 3 months were painful to say the least. Our sex life decreased significantly. There was times my wife started crying in the middle of it since it reminded her of the time we let him cry out his nightmare when he was 3 years old, but still didn't let him enter our room because we're in the middle of having sex and we wanted to finish. We didn't go on any date nights or outside of the house for that matter. My wife and I became homebodies. A lot of guilt was plaguing us. That guilt led to a time of introspection. We started doing research on family dynamics during our spare time. We asked questions to ourselves such as, did we spend enough time with him? Did he feel like a burden to our relationship? Were we wrong to put our relationship first over a relationship with him? We wanted to be aware what was going on in his life, so we used to follow him on social media. We checked on his Facebook page every day. That was a big mistake. We found out that he proposed to his girlfriend last month and she said yes. We found out through a post on his Facebook page. Yes, that's right. We, the parents, found out the engagement of our only child through fucking Facebook. Jesus fucking Christ. As if we weren't already in enough pain. We were stuck in the same cycle again for the past until he finally reached out to us. We got a call from our son this past Monday, and it was like a positive sign from the universe. He said he wanted to talk about our relationship. He asked if he could come to our house this Thursday with his girlfriend for support. We obviously said a resounding yes. We were anxious. I didn't expect it to be a tearful reunion, but definitely a good step in reconciliation. My wife and I discussed with each other about how to lead the conversation. We both agreed to apologize any anguish we caused and to listen to what he has to say first. When he came this Thursday, we sat impatiently waiting for him after we came back from work. When he rang the doorbell and he opened, there was no sense of warmth from him but a reluctant smile. His girlfriend almost felt sad being here. I had a feeling that night. They both refused any drinks we offered them. My son felt extremely uncomfortable being there. My wife told him that if he wanted to speak first, that he should. This is what he said to us. He apologized to us if he caused us any emotional turmoil. He said that his resentment started building up ever since he was little. There was a lot about our behavior that contributed to his point of view. He felt like having kids was more of a checklist that we wanted to complete instead of being actively interested in being parents, and having a deep bond as a parent. He said that whenever there was a disagreement with one of us, that we had always taken each other's side over his. It felt like there was an us versus him type of family dynamic. Whenever we came back home from work, we looked forward to seeing each other than him. When it came to spending time with him, it felt like doing stuff with him was physically and emotionally draining with him. Like we needed a break from him after having time with him, I assume. One-on-one time felt like it was even more taxing to us according to him. He also said that there were times we wanted to spend with each other. He also said that we lit up when we spent time as a couple. He said that we put more effort into having our date nights and couple time than spending time with him. He said we seemed more upset when we couldn't have couple time over having family time. The fact that we spent our vacation as a couple then as a family compounded the problem. He found it bizarre when we claimed we missed him after we came back from our trips. When he was young, he cried when we showed him pictures of our trips. We comforted by saying we love him, but we need our couple time. He said that made him even more upset. He felt like we were using our parents, his grandparents, as our impromptu babysitters. He said that this feeling was further corroborated when visits significantly decreased when he got older. He said he gave up on having a relationship on us when he entered high school. He said he put more effort and time into his academics so he could use his energy in a more productive manner than on us. He said it didn't come as a surprise, we didn't notice because we never formed a close bond with him to notice such things. He said his academics and friendships satisfied him more than spending time with us. Eventually, we were just roommates to him. He became apathetic when we didn't spend time with him and turned us down many times. We always thought he was too busy for us. He said that his bond with us weakened even more during college. He never missed us and he got annoyed when we asked to meet him and complained about him not calling us often. He said he cried sometimes because he felt guilty of not missing us. He also said one of the reasons he did well in his academics was because he wanted to do well in other aspects in his life, such as following his passion in his physics, and he wanted to lead a happy life with us barely or entirely out of it. That's when he started tearing up at that moment. It still hurts him that the reason he is successful today, because he wanted to get away from us. He said he felt free when he went to college and now he is soon going to grad school this fall, on the other side of the country. The past few months he realized a lot of new things. He concluded by stating what he wants for the future. He said he is grateful for what we did for him, such as paying for college. He will financially support us if we ever need it or be present when an emergency or family crisis occurs. Aside from that, we're not his priority in his life at all. We shouldn't be demanding phone calls or him visiting us anymore. He said he shouldn't be forced to maintain a strong relationship with us because we never cultured it while we raised him. He states that family or not, an adult isn't obligated to have and maintain a relationship with any other adult. He said he was stuck in a relationship with us he didn't want to have until he became independent. He no longer regrets his decision. He said in the end of the day, we chose to be his parents, not the other way around. We could have found ways to bond with him and find common ground and stuff to do with him, so it didn't feel like a burden to be a parent to him. We never incorporated him in our lives and saw being a parent akin to a job. We had every opportunity to form that close bond with him and we never took it. Before he left, he said he wished us a happy and healthy life for us, and we're invited to his wedding if we want to come. Time froze after he left and we were flabbergasted to what happened. It was like he divorced us. My door is always open to him, and I hope one day he can forgive us for the way we treated him. However, I don't know how to move on with this possibly permanent estrangement. Any suggestions? Thanks for reading this. Writing this alleviated my anxiety a little bit. Jack, I still love you, son. Please come back. I'm sorry. And a little update after this that said there is so much judgment from you guys. I believe that the spouse comes first. Your kids eventually will leave you, but the spouse stays with you till the end. I maybe didn't have a proper balance, but no parent is perfect. I need help to get him to understand that we love him and we're sorry. Ouch. That is absolutely rough, but it kind of felt like OP was still not getting it. I'm not sure if that sounds brutally harsh or not, but the son sounded like he understands his feelings. He understands exactly where he's coming from. It doesn't sound like he's cutting OP off and wife off to be cruel, that he's just protecting himself. He literally invited OP to his wedding and offered financial support if needed. It just sounded like boundaries were put in place. And I personally, for me, it kind of feels like you should stop trying to get him to understand you love him. He knows that the issue was never that. It was all about those priorities in the end. And it kind of felt like that they were just talking about the relationship that they wanted, that OP and wife wanted, rather than kind of just accepting this is what he's offering you. Again, he offered them to come to his wedding. Again, I feel brutal saying it, but it sounds like their kids turned out really well, successful, really emotionally mature to communicate his needs clearly. And I think you just got to accept that, right? Or maybe I'm totally wrong there. It's kind of the way it feels to me. But what do you guys make of this situation? Holy moly. Let us know your thoughts down in the comments below. And let's move on to another story. Our next story comes from a deleted user and said, am I the arsehole for competing in a mother and son race with my stepson? My stepson is 11 and at his school they have these annual events. Father-son camping, mother-daughter cooking, etc. Late last year, they held a mother and son race where the mother had to run across the field and piggyback their sons back to the other side, then tie our legs together and just sprint back across. A week prior, my stepson Dylan was talking about it and how he thought it was ridiculous and embarrassing. When I looked at their poster for it, it looked fun, so I convinced him to sign up for it. Later that day, I called his mother Julie, but she didn't pick up, so I left a voicemail talking about the event and asking her to get back to us if she was available. 5 days passed and still no word from her. Being honest, when she didn't respond, I saw it as an opportunity for Dylan and I to bond. But since I respect Julie as his mother, I sent her an email, doesn't use social media, with the poster and talking about how Dylan has signed up for it. 2 days passed and still nothing. So I went to Dylan and told him that his mother hadn't gone back to me, but if he was okay with it, I was willing to step in since it was too late to pull out. He was a bit disappointed, but still fine. The day came and it was a blast. Tiresome, but definitely worth it. It was just so much fun, and I made a few friends there who were also stepmothers. And obviously, we won first place and got 2 medals. Dylan also enjoyed it and feels way more comfortable with me now. While I was browsing the school's website last week, I saw a picture from that day with me running and Dylan cheering on my back. It was a cute picture, so I downloaded it and made it my profile picture. Turns out one of Julie's friends showed her the picture. Now she's going on a rant about how I shouldn't have done that and how I've overstepped my mark as a stepmother. When I told her I called her and sent an email, she went on saying that I should have sent her a text or called her again instead of just once. Am I the arsehole? Edit. My husband and I have custody of Dylan, and Julie comes to visit a couple of times a month. Bloody onion ninjas round here. I'm getting soft as I get older, you know. When you explained the situation and you saw the picture from that day of you running with Dylan cheering on your back, that was just a wonderful image for me, you know. Like you said, a bonding moment and Dylan having the time of his life. And it sounds to me that you made the effort to get in touch with her and she just didn't respond. And all you did was try to make your stepson happy. And you would have thought from Biomum's perspective, if she saw this and, you know, if she missed out on these notifications, which I highly doubt, that she would still be happy that her son had a wonderful time with her ex's partner. I say good for you, but Rowling says not the arsehole. If she didn't reply to one text or a mail, why would she respond to another one? Incredibly rude on her part to leave your messages unread. You stepped in when she let her son down, and that's something your stepson will remember. Where's your husband in all of this? Why is he letting his ex talk to you like this? Opie says my husband says I should stand up to her myself so that Julie sees I'm serious. Melly Commenter says not the arsehole. Someone has to act like a mother if she's not going to. Icy replies saying I agree. Opie did the right thing by attempting to contact her. That shows a good faith effort to respect her role and to get along. But if she doesn't reply, all bets are off. I'd simply tell her that with all due respect, I do not have time to reach out multiple times and I assume she was busy when I did not get a response, and that I will continue to give a heads up in the future but will fill in if no response is given. Tell her you'll be filling in if she doesn't respond. Now she knows that lack of response means she has forfeited her opportunity. It's not your job to chase her. We go through this as well, except my husband ex doesn't care if she's missing things. She still ignores the emails though, which can be very frustrating when we're trying to get along. And one more comment which says, not the arsehole. You've reached out to her multiple times and she had not responded. So rather than having your stepson be sad because he could not compete, you decided to step up, after respecting that his mother would have maybe liked to join him. And you both had a good time. The only thing that I would see as questionable is you posting the picture of you and the kid. I'm not saying that posting the picture makes you an arsehole, but more in the context of how much his parents post him on their social media. That could easily be resolved if you discussed posting the picture with your partner and the agreements they made on this matter. Oh no, consequences indeed. But what do you guys make of this one? What do you make of today's stories? Let us know your thoughts down in the comments below. Now, just a huge thank you for being there today, getting involved in the stories, your love, your support, your time, just being here for the channel and sharing your opinion, being kind to one another. It really does mean the world to me and to many other people as well. So thank you so much for being amazing, and hopefully I will see you in the next one. Take care and much love.